Watch out for pirates as you build up your Roman port. This is our preview of Ostia, the Pirates expansion.
The Pirates expansion adds new elements to Ostia, and I really enjoyed building up my legionnaires to fight the pirates.
I was a really big fan of Ostia, and the Pirates expansion made it that much better. We'll tell you all about it after this quick how to play. The rules for Ostia remain the same except for these new elements added in.
Pirate ships guard the ports, and players must pay a weapons cost in order to continue their movements.
Players can lower the weapons cost needed to fight the pirates by hiring legionnaires.
As players defeat pirates, they'll earn treasure chests, which will give them more endgame points when multiplied by the legionnaires.
A new Roman city board gives players new bonus options when building.
And home city and supporter cards will give each player unique abilities to be used during the game.
The Ostia Pirates expansion prototype was sent to us from the publisher. Some rules or pieces may change from the finished product.
If you'd like to find out more or back the Kickstarter, check out the links in our description below.
We were sent the base game with the new prototype so that we could review both in leading up to the new Kickstarter for the Pirates expansion. And when we did the unboxing, it looked really interesting. And then when we actually started playing it, it quickly became one of my new favorite games. I really enjoyed it. And the Pirates expansion adds a lot of new stuff that I really enjoy as well. I especially like the pirate ships and how they guard the ports and how they make the movements on the big board a little bit more interesting because you can't just run away with it. You have to have those weapons to defeat the pirates. But there is a bonus that you get because you'll get the treasure chest, so you'll also get more endgame points for defeating the pirates. So it slows you down, but it also rewards you as well. So I really like what this expansion adds to an already great game.
I'd probably say there's two main things that I like. Yeah, the pirate ships, it really stops us from everyone just going down one path and, race to the finish for the one person down that one path. The pirate ships really just help you switch up your strategy a little bit more, or makes you really pay attention, or me personally, just makes me want to focus okay, I couldn't have done what I wanted to do, what I normally do, so I'm glad that they switched that up. The second thing I really like were the legionnaires. Just because when you're getting to the pirate ships, you have to pay a weapon cost, so really, if you didn't want to build that up, then you could just hoard a bunch of weapons and then just beat the pirates. However, with the legionnaires, you don't have to pay anything. And I'm always a big fan of not paying anything to earn rewards and defeat pirates and stuff.
And the expansion also adds home city and supporter cards. When we got the prototype, there were tiles. I'm not exactly sure what the final product will be, whether they'll be cards or tiles like this. So you have one of these, and you'll start off with one of each, and it'll give you an ability as well. And it'll also tell you how many disgrace cubes you start off the game with. The expansion adds a new element called a disgrace cube, and if you have those on your player board at the end of the game, each disgrace cube will be -7 points. So your goal during the game is to figure out how to get rid of those. And there are different ways to get rid of those over the course of the game. As you're getting treasure chests, there's a way, there's a couple of events that happen, and of course your actions on these two tiles may give you a way to actually earn points and get rid of your disgrace cubes. So I like that these added asymmetric abilities during the game, but it also added a new element. It wasn't just making what was already there stronger or giving people certain abilities. It added a new element, but then gave people new ways to use those elements and then build on their current strategy as they're playing the game.
The addition of the treasure chests and the events, I really liked them because it adds another endgame condition, so it's not get all the way to the top or move your ships over to the end. These other ones, it's okay, so you chose the pirate fighting route. All right, you get treasure chests, but wait, let's pause for a moment. An event just happened. So it lets you have a little breather, oh, okay, where was I? And then you can kind of check where everyone's at. So I don't know. I just thought it was fun having these little events, and then you can check out your abilities to see if you can use them. So everything just kind of blended in pretty well.
The expansion also adds a Roman city board. So when you're building, normally you put your building on one of the ports, and then you can interact with that port, either for endgame points, an immediate action, or for a trade action. But the Roman city gives you an immediate action or an endgame action, and you'll get that little tile. It'll either give you an immediate action that you can then take, like this one will give you a resource for each of the resource types, or it'll give you an endgame point, which you can see here, this is adding an extra point onto the amphora. So it just gives you one more option if you're looking out there and you know what, I don't really like all these ports, or I already put my building on the ports that I wanted. Let me go over here and get some other new bonus things. I like how they gave you another option. I don't think we used them as much earlier on in the game, but later on in the end game, as you're building, you're okay, I'm running out of ports. Oh, I'm gonna go over here. Let me get some of this stuff now. So I like how that option was there to help you boost your score right at the very end.
I think the best thing I like were the legionnaires. Not only do they make fighting pirates cheaper or free, but they also are used as multipliers with the treasure chests so that you get more points towards the end.
I really like the pirate ships being added onto the main board. It really did change how the movements on the main board worked. It really did make you think about, okay, is it worth it to fight that pirate to go there? Do I want to do that? What am I going to do first? Do I want to line up my ships and then go after the pirate ships? It adds more, but it didn't make it so convoluted that you didn't know what you were doing. It just made it an extra step in your strategy of thinking, okay, I know I want to get to the end already, but now I got to think about, okay, I got to go through the pirate ships to get there. This is how I have to do it. Now I have to take these steps. I like how that was integrated into the game. What did you not like about the expansion?
I would say the biggest thing I didn't like, which I've seen in other games too, are like those disgrace cubes. It's the idea that the whole time while playing the game, while even just starting the game, you've got like this debt or this thing just hanging over your head. And so I want to have fun and try all these new things, but at the same thing, it's like, hey, don't forget about me. Like, I'm really going to ruin the end game for you if you forget about me.
The disgrace cubes weren't that difficult to get rid of as long as you're paying attention and incorporating the strategy that your asymmetric powers will give you, as well as getting the treasure chest and getting the timing right and everything. However, I still don't like negative points in the game. I don't like when you get to the end and you have to calculate something and you subtract it.
Overall, I had a lot of fun playing the Pirates expansion. I think it really adds to the base game and it just gives you that variety and not that like, oh, they just did this one thing. Like this one, I think completely changes everything. So for that, high marks.
Overall, I really loved Ostia. You can see how much I liked it by checking out a review in the description below. And I think that this adds a whole lot more to it, and I really enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to this so much. I'm gonna make sure I keep my eye on the Kickstarter to see if anything changes from this, to see if maybe we still need to back it. And that was our preview of Ostia, the Pirates expansion.
What'd you think? Are you gonna back it? Let us know in the comments below.
Once again, we'd like to thank the publishers for sending us a copy so that we could do this preview video. If you'd like to find out more information or back to Kickstarter, check out the links in our description below. And as always, if you're enjoying our content, please like this video, subscribe to our channel.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny. And go party like a board gamer.